Fantastic. Yeah. I hope everybody can hear me. Please let me know if you can hear me. The audio is great.
Live and direct, we can hear you.
Fantastic. I am super excited about this opportunity to be here to just share some of my ideas with you. Praise, thank you for having me. Thank you for being you, right? For being so open to share your wealth of knowledge, your wealth of unconventional knowledge, right? With the world in such a very critical time that the world needs this quality of information. Thank you. Thank you for being a brother. Thank you for being a friend. Everyone, if praise has blessed you in this community, please just appreciate him in the comments and just say one word that will make him feel like, he's really appreciated, right? Okay, let me see who's out there. I love to engage when I teach. So as many times as possible, I will ask questions and I will be looking out for your contribution in the comments. So don't be the fly on the wall. I see a number of you saying hello. Thank you, Musumola. Thank you, everyone. Diva Prino, I see you guys. Peace, grace, fantastic, right? So today I will be taking you on an adventure into limitlessness, right? Anybody wants to go on this adventure with me? I want to see you in the comments. I will be taking you on an adventure into the realm or the world of what I call limitlessness, right? The world that I call limitlessness. I started a journey in October 2020 that has led to significant transformation in my life, not just in my life, but significant transformation in the lives of different people, a community of people who I lead. I was in a very deep, dark place emotionally. And I know that some people who are listening to me at different points in time may have found themselves in those kinds of positions where you are questioning what you've always known, you are questioning where the world is at, you're questioning the news, the information, the new world order just seems to not align with what you have considered to be appropriate. And, just there trying to make sense of the world, trying to make sense of your life relative to the world. And that was what was happening to me. I was in a very funny space and I needed help. And I remember praying to God to get me out of this state. My emotions were all over the place. It seemed like I didn't have control. And I remember one night on the rug in my living room, I was worshiping. And as soon as I was done worshiping, I have a note, it's this note, right, where I opened it and I started writing. And I was hearing so clearly specific instructions that God was giving me about this new dispensation and this new phase of my life. And he began to teach me about the kingdom that is within. And he began to show me that my mission was to take people on this adventure into the kingdom that exists within. And that set me on a path. I dropped a lot of the things that I was doing at the time. I was known as a career coach. I was doing a course called Career GPS. I dropped everything and I began to study as God led me. And I remember, smack in the middle of all my study, one night, I went to sleep. And as I was sleeping, I had what many will call an out-of-body experience. I had an experience where I was out of my body, but seeing myself. And I heard a loud voice say a word that I do not have any conscious recollection of ever knowing before that time. And I wasn't even sure how to spell the word, but I knew it was very loud in my consciousness, and I knew it was important to take note of that word, right? So I woke up, immediately, and I went online to just try to find out if such a word existed. And the word was homeostasis. And homeostasis is the recognition and the regulation of your internal conditions so as to alter and not be altered by external situations and circumstances. I'll take that again. I said homeostasis is the recognition and the regulation of your internal conditions so as to alter and not be altered by external situations and circumstances. And that has been my mission since October 2020, right? To take people on the path of homeostasis, right? And to show people the limitlessness that resides in the kingdom and to take them on this adventure. And thankfully, I've taken a number of people on this adventure. I've organized retreats, boot camps, things like that, just to show people that there is a world and there's a kingdom on the inside. And today, I want to take some of you on this adventure. And before I start this journey, I really want to know who is ready to go on this ride. If you're ready to go on this ride, in the comments, just say yes. Just say, yes, I'm ready. I want to be sure that you're listening and we're on track. We're ready for this adventure. We're ready for this journey. I see you, Shaibu. I see you, Mary Jane. I see you, Brittany. Hey, Tosin, hi, how are you? Right. I see you, Manuela. Fantastic, fantastic. We're ready for the ride into limitlessness. Fantastic. You see, the significant thing that distinguishes human beings, and please permit me, I'm going to be very scientific in my approach because science is the contemporary language that demystifies what we prior to now had considered mystical. I'll take that again. Science demystifies the mystical, right? So things that we mystify and we tend not to want to touch, science is beginning to catch on to demystify these things. So back to what I was saying about human beings. What makes humans higher organisms and what makes us exist on a higher pedestal and plane from other animals is the fact that we have a part of our brain called the prefrontal cortex. And the percentage of the prefrontal cortex in comparison to the remaining part of the brain is highest in animals. Now, that part of the brain, which many may call the third eye or the prefrontal cortex, right, is the part of the brain that is responsible for cognitive control. It is responsible for self-regulation. So we are the only organisms that have been created that have the capacity to self-regulate from within. So other organisms are very reactive to stimulus in the environment, right? You see a fly, you move near the fly, try to catch it. The fly would respond to the stimulus of your movement. That's how organisms are. They are created for survival, and for them to survive, they have to be able to respond to stimulus in the environment. So it's like as you give them, they take it. However, human beings are not just stimulus-driven organisms. We have the capacity to see stimulus and make an executive decision as to how to respond to the situation. So somebody may slap you, right? If you slap an animal, right, they will react to the slap because stimulus must give birth to a response. However, we human beings have the capacity to self-regulate such that somebody would slap you, but you have the capacity to make an executive decision and choice to not respond to the slap, because what distinguishes you from other organisms is your capacity to self-regulate. It is your USP, your unique selling proposition. And I have found out that a lot of people have regulated this technology that has been given to humanity. They've regulated or they've relegated this technology of self-regulation to the background. So what makes you a super organism? What ensures that you are divine and not just a mere mortal is your capacity to self-regulate and choose how you respond in the face of circumstances or situations. if you are somebody who always is reacting to the fact that your bank account is in the red, if you are somebody who is always reacting to the news that's out there and the fact that it's 2023, the elections are around the corner and only God knows what's going to happen in Nigeria, if you're somebody who is always reacting to what you see on those blogs that you follow, that you should not, by the way, right, that are consistently just putting out negative news and you are just reacting. Somebody who's always complaining about the fact that things are not just working out for them and what is going on with the world. If you are somebody who just reacts, I am sorry to say you are operating on the level of density, and that is the level, forgive me, that lower organisms operate on. We have a prefrontal cortex that gives us the capacity to choose the opportunity to respond in our highest, grandest, most magnificent form. And I'm telling you that that power already exists for you, right? And the truth is we need to learn how to be able to connect with that internal order that God has given us. So the question is, so what is this internal order that I talk about? You know, God told me, he said, Bankole, the message of Jesus was the message of the kingdom. And he said that the kingdom of God does not come by observation. It doesn't come by sensory perception. So it doesn't come by what we feed our senses with. So you receive stimulus on the environment and then you respond with your senses. That's not how the kingdom comes. It doesn't come by what you see, it doesn't come by what you taste, it doesn't come by what you hear. It's not by observation. It says the kingdom is in you. It is inside of you. So there is a kingdom that resides within. It's not just a geographical location up there. It is a real kingdom that exists on the inside. There is a world, there is a realm that exists within you, and we must learn how to connect with that realm that exists within you. And the realm that exists within you is a limitless realm. And I want to take you on an adventure into this realm of limitlessness that exists on your inside. Hear what I'm saying. It doesn't exist outside of you. It exists within you. We think that the way to heaven is to go up. Well, the way up is in. If you want to experience what exists up there, you go in. As above, so it is within. You go in to experience the kingdom. And I want to take you on this adventure to the world that is within. Now, this world by scientists is described as the quantum realm, right? This world by a lot of scientists is described as the quantum realm. I personally love to describe this realm, right, as the field. The spiritual folk, you know, would describe this realm as the spiritual realm, right? And I would call it the realm of the unseen. So for the purpose of this conversation, permit me to just call this realm of limitlessness the realm of the seen. Imagine with me that you were in a cell, right? And there were two holes on the walls of the cell, the prison. And all you had were just the two holes to view life through, right? And you peered through the two holes. Your eyes could fit, you know, into those holes. And as you looked, you were seeing a view. Can I ask you a question? In the comments, please let me know. If you judge the entirety of life by what you were seeing through the two holes in the cell that you found yourself in, would you be accurate in saying that that is what life is about? Life is just the entirety of what you see through those two holes. Please let me know in the comments what you think, right? BC says absolutely not. Anyton says, of course not. No. Why? But that is what you are seeing now. Why is it that you are saying that that is not the entirety of reality? Please, in the comments, I want to see your response. Why is it that you are saying that it is a myopic view? Why? Why is it a myopic view? Please let me know in the comments. But that's what you are seeing, you know, through through the two holes, on the walls. That's what you're seeing. And you've judged the entirety of reality, right? Kaya says, because you are viewing, let me see that, sorry. Because you are viewing from a limited point, right? You can't see it all. There are existences outside of the cell. Your view is limited. There is more to life than what you are seeing. Beautiful. Now, your spirit is inside this cell called your body. And it is peering through these two holes called your eyes, right? And you are looking at life through these holes. And yet you judge life through the filter of what your eyes see. Oh, is somebody hearing what I'm saying? I said, except you are telling me that the entirety of your being is this physical thing that we see in the mirror. No, the entirety of you is a spirit that is captured in this flesh, peering through the holes. And we judge by the seeing of the eyes, but it says that the things that are seen are temporal. They are not lasting, but the things that are unseen are eternal. So the real things that are everlasting reside in a realm beyond this tangible physical plane. Oh, is somebody hearing what I'm saying? Somebody getting what I'm saying? I'm telling you that this plane of physical existence is a limited realm, is a limited view. You want to operate in unlimitedlessness, right? You want to operate in that realm where you are not limited, right? You must know how to connect to the unseen. Reminded, I think it was of Elisha, who was hanging out with one of his guys, and the guy saw the armies of the enemy, and he thought that, hey, it's all done for us. And Elisha said, Lord, open his eyes. But his eyes were open, but he said, open his eyes to the realm of the unseen. And when he saw, he said, them that are with us are more than them that are against us. Take note, he did not say them that are with us are more than the people against us. He said them that are, with them that are against us. So there is a host. There are activities. There are things that reside in space. Space is not empty. Space is full. Look in that room that you are in. You see ample space. Recognize that in that space that you see, there are things, there are beings, there are existences that exist beyond what your physical eye can see, but it is real. And I'm going to demystify this thing scientifically for you to see what I'm talking about. Somebody is listening and saying, they are saying there are things that exist in space that I cannot see. They have come again. But in 2020, you are locked down in your house. You did not go anywhere for a virus that you never saw with your eye. Has anybody seen Corona before? You had faith and confidence in what you were told that your physical eye did not see. And you tell me that there are no existences beyond this physical plane? Are you kidding? We are on Zoom right now. I am in Lagos, Nigeria. Some of you are in America, different parts of the world, and you are seeing me live. Do you understand the technology that is at work? It is a technology that resides in the unseen. Do you know what the internet is? It runs on electromagnetic waves. Have you seen one before? You will argue that there are things in the unseen, but you will use Zoom. You will use a mobile phone, real time. You are speaking to somebody. You have not gone to inquire to understand the technology, the science behind the electromagnetic waves that are responsible for the conversation that you are having in real time. And then you say they have started with this spooky conversation. What are you talking about? What is the difference between what is happening now and what the ancestors used to do back in the day, that they will look in water and then they will see somebody's face? You are seeing my face now, real time. there are realms of existence beyond what the natural eye can see. It says, we walk by faith, not by what? Sight. But I dare say that the majority of humanity has been conditioned to move by the things that are seen. You want to be limitless? You must understand the realm of the unseen. The realm of the unseen. Scientists consider the quantum realm to be the invisible moving field that influences this physical world. But guess what? That's what spiritual folks also call the spiritual realm. An invisible moving force that is responsible for this world. See, let me break down. See, I do a lot of history. You know, I'm not one of those people that you can just come and tell something and they just chop it like that. Yes, we've been handed down certain things, but I want to know how did we get to this point of civilization? How did we get to this point where we see things the way we see them? Why? Could it be that we may have been misled? It's a possibility. There was a time in our civilization that all that we knew as the church was the Catholic Church. And then there was the evolution that led to the different expressions that we find today. But at that time, if somebody had not protested to what they knew to be true, you know, they would have lived in or existed in a limited frame. So as humanity evolves, there is the necessity to stop and question and ask. And I'm not saying that where we are is wrong, but we should not lack the courage to be able to inquire and ask, how did we get here? Is somebody hearing what I'm saying? I decided to read a bit of the history of the civilization of humanity. Right. And there was a time in civilization where civilization was being run by the church. The Roman Empire was the most powerful force and the most powerful empire, right? Colony of the time, right? They gave birth, you know, to the Roman Catholic Church, and they were responsible for civilization. Now, science was now coming to bear. And scientists needed to do some kind of work. But the church was going against some of the work that they wanted to do. And a guy called Descartes, right, René Descartes, he needed to do some experiments with cadavers, and he needed the bodies, you know, from the church, right? And he needed to be able to, you know, for the progression of science, he needed to be able to study bodies and study these physical things and realm. And he decided to come up with a theory where he said that, you know, the mind should be given to the realm of spirituality and the body should be given to the realm of science, so that scientists can study the physical things while the church studies the superficial, the spiritual things, the realm of the unseen. And there began the separation of the two parts. There began the separation of science and spirituality. Isaac Newton, some years later, came up with, you know, the laws of motion, and he was studying classical physics. And for a long while, science focused on the seen, right? Because that was what they were given. And the realm of the unseen was, so to speak, given to religion and given to the church. And that's where there was the separation. And a few years back, some guys now decided to study the realm of the unseen. And they found out that there were living organisms that existed beyond what the naked eye could see, right? So they wanted to study further to see if the laws that apply in the physical realm apply in the unseen. And there began the study of the quantum realm, which is the realm of the unseen. And now quantum physics is beginning to demystify spirituality, where science should not be against spirituality, because they came from the same source. Really and truly, they are one, because the inanimate things of God can be seen through the things that are made. I hope somebody's getting this thing, right? So So I'm going to draw a distinction between the realm of the seen and the realm of the unseen. I'm going to share a few things and then hopefully just tie all the loose ends. Are we learning? If we're flowing in the comments, just say I'm flowing with you. I'm flowing with you. Right. So the realm of limitlessness is the realm of the unseen. You are in your house and you have a radio and you tune that radio to a certain frequency, right? And all of a sudden you start hearing information. Do you know in that room that you are in, there are radio waves, thousands of radio waves in that room, but you do not see it. You do not see it. But guess what? Those radio waves are carrying information. Do you know the influx of information that is captured in the space that you are in right now? Right? I want to show you the realm of the unseen. So let's look at the two distinctions between the realm of the seen and the realm of the unseen. The realm of the seen is a physical realm, right? It's a physical realm. It's a physical, tangible realm that we're in, right? Everyone, good to see you, right? Physical, tangible realm that we're in, right? The realm of the unseen is non-physical and it is non-tangible. The realm of the unseen is non-physical and it is non-tangible, right? The realm of the seen, right, is where we have the universe. The realm of the unseen is where we have what I call the multiverse. There are multiplicities of verses, right? Mark Zuckerberg is working on a multiverse, right now. So he's working on a plane of existence that would run parallel with this plane of existence. So there are multiplicities of existences. It's the truth. Whether you believe it or not, you are still subject to it. It's the truth about the unseen realm. There are multiplicities of planes. The realm of the seen is a three-dimensional plane, right? So here, everything is three-dimensional. Most things are three-dimensional, right? This microphone has length, it has height, and it has width. So things on this plane are three-dimensional. In the realm of the unseen, there are multiplicities of dimensions. So there are multiplicities of dimensions, right? So you can go in and out, up and down. There are so many dimensions that exist there, right? In the realm of the seen, right, we experience this world with our five physical senses. In this physical world, we experience this world with our five physical senses. That's how I relate to this world. But in the realm of the unseen, you don't relate with it with your five physical senses. You relate with it with your consciousness. The language of the unseen is consciousness, is your awareness, is your attention, is your energy. Because where your attention goes, your energy flows. That's the language of the unseen. Guys, true story. It's just that there are just so many things that I know and see. Sometimes sometimes I'm like, can people handle this? But let me tell you, a video that I watched, true stuff, a study that was done by a guy called Rene Poash. So you understand what I'm talking about. This guy, he took newborn chicks of chickens, newborn chicks. He took them away from their mothers, right? And put them around a robot. Newborn chicks, put them around a robot. Now, this robot had an algorithm that was programmed in a way that anytime it was on a board, so let's assume this is a board and the robot was somewhere here. Anytime it was on a board, the algorithm of the robot was such that it would move in random directions and cover the entirety of the board by the time it is done. So the algorithm of the robot was such that it can move up, down, but by the time it is done, it covers the entire surface area, so to speak, of the board, right? So that's the configuration that's there. It covers at the end of the day, even if it moves in random directions, it will cover the area, so to speak, of the board. That was the configuration of this robot. So they took the newborn chicks and they put them around the robots. So newborn chicks want to bond with their mother when they are giving birth to. So unconsciously, their consciousness, the consciousness of the chicks, adopted these robots as the mother, because that was the first thing around them that they spent the first few, weeks, so to speak, of their lives with, right? So they spent time with the robots. Now, after some time, they took the chicks. So let's assume that this is the board, right? They took the chicks and then they put them in a cage in a corner of the, outside of the board, in a corner, in a cage outside of the board, somewhere around here. And then they put the robots and started the robots. And the robot only moved in the direction of the chicks. The robot, that the programming was such that it will cover the entirety of the board. The consciousness of the chicks altered a computer program. Somebody did not hear what I just said. I said the consciousness of chicks, the teeny weeny tiny brains of chicks, emitted frequency that changed the configuration, the programming of a robot. And you imagine what you, the highest order that was created, has the capacity to do with consciousness. Oh, is somebody hearing what I'm saying? See, you are greater than you have thought yourself to be. You are a limitless being that has the capacity to alter things that exist thousands of miles beyond where you exist. I'm not telling you what's, this is not made up stuff. This is something I've watched his videos. I've studied something I've studied. This is a fact. We are consistently putting out information that is altering the configurations of things around us. So the language of the unseen, the language of the unseen is what? Consciousness. It's consciousness, consciousness, consciousness. I tell people that your address is not where your physical body is. You hear what I said? You say, so where's your address? Say, I live in Ikoyi. It's your flesh that lives in Ikoyi. Say, no, I bought a house. What are you talking about? I bought a house in Dallas. What are you talking about? Say, that's the address of your flesh, of your body. Your real address is where your consciousness lives. Oh, somebody hear what I said? Your real address is where your consciousness. So the consciousness of abundance is abundance. If you are, it says, if they were mindful of the country from which they came, they would have created pathways, opportunities to go back. Because consciousness creates opportunities to move in a certain direction. The same way, if you are mindful of the country that you are going to, you will create, your consciousness will create, will configure things to align, to ensure that opportunities are created for you to go in that direction. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? The language of the unseen, I am telling you, is consciousness. It's not your five physical senses. It says we're not moved by things that are seen. No. What you see is temporary. This physical realm is not real. Hear what I'm saying? This physical, what you are seeing, this physical realm is a projection. There is a realm that is realer than this realm from which we draw our source. What you see in this realm is virtual reality. What is real is what resides in the unseen. Please, can you let me know how much time I have left so that I don't overshoot the time? Praise, why are you laughing now? Please let me know.
Just go on.
Okay. So you cannot be moved by your current bank account balance. You cannot be moved by what you are seeing. You cannot be moved by what you are hearing. Because if you are moved by that, you are operating in limitation. Do you get what I'm saying? If you want to be unlimited, then you have to operate in the unseen. See, things are limited. Space is unlimited. There will always be more space than things. Look in that room that you are in. So if you are just fixated on this material world, you are limited. We say man is spirit, but yet we plug ourselves to the material world. Language of the unseen is consciousness. Hear what I'm saying, guys. What is consciousness? Attention. See, where your attention goes, your energy flows. It's a law. One of the greatest laws of the universe. I have seen this law work for me several times. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. The question is, with respect to your health, where is your attention? Is your attention on the medical reports? Or is your attention on the infinite intelligence that exists within you that has the capacity to heal a corpse without you doing anything about it? Are you telling me that that infinite intelligence does not have the capacity to heal cancer? What are you telling me? Are you kidding? Where your attention goes, where does your consciousness live? Where does your consciousness live? And how you know where your consciousness lives is when you have wandered in thoughts and then you catch yourself. That is the real place. That's where you have been living. When you are in your bathroom having your bath and you have wandered and then you caught yourself. Where did you go? 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 Where is your consciousness? I have seen too many people who, that's why it says, let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart, let it be acceptable. I have seen people who have the multiplicity of words, but the absence of the consciousness to back it up. And that consciousness is faith. Hear what I'm saying? It is faith. It says, faith is calling those things that be not as though they were. It is the substance of the unseen. Don't you get it? It is the language, the currency of the unseen realm which I'm telling you about. It's the currency. I don't need to see it for me to recognize it exists. Let me help you understand, especially for your spiritual folks. There is nothing that you need or you will ever need that is not already in existence. That one flew over someone's head. I need to say it again. There is absolutely nothing that you need or you will ever dream of needing that is not already in existence. He says, before you called, I already answered. It already exists. He has already blessed. It already exists. So real prayer is living in the consciousness of the existence of that desire. And remaining in the continuous flow of its existence in the face of contrary opposition or situations when you look with your eyes. That's what it is. That's what it is. In the realm of the unseen, hear what I'm saying. Somebody's going to get happy now. In the realm of the seen, let's even start with that. Okay, someone says, please repeat. I said, which one of them? Prayer is living in the consciousness of the existence of your desire. Not that God is about to go to a warehouse to manufacture. It is that it is already in existence in a realm beyond this natural, tangible realm. Listen to me. Let me ask you a question so you understand what I'm saying. When was the internet invented? Somebody in the comments, let me know. When was the internet invented? You guys you're very intelligent people. Google is your friend. Tell me, when was the internet invented? Please drop your comments. Someone says 1976. Oh, since the day of creation. Doctor says 2000. You people are giving me conflicting answers. Which one should I believe? I did not ask when the internet was discovered. Shaibu says 1983. I said, when was it invented? The internet was always in existence. We just uncovered what God covered. So do you understand what I'm saying? When God said, let there be light, what do you think he was saying? Up NEPA. Some of you, light is only... Do you know what light is? Light is a spectrum. The electromagnetic spectrum was created from the beginning. So your desires are in existence. You just need to uncover it. You just need to know the formula, the strategy to connect with what God has already done. Moving on. In the realm of the seen, we move through space and we experience time as we move through space. It says that it's the glory of God to hide the matter. God has a PhD in hiding. Hear what I'm saying, guys. God has a PhD in hiding. He loves to hide. He hides a furniture industry in a forest. He hides crude oil in the shorelines. He hides the internet in space. He hides gold beneath the earth. He has a PhD in hiding. He loves to hide. It says the glory of kings to search it out. Our job is to search out that which God has already done. God loves to hide. Guess what? God wanted to hide himself. Where do you think he hid himself? In the place where people least check. They go everywhere else to look for him, whereas he decided to hide himself in you. This human body, I've been doing some study, because of time, I may not go into all that, is the most sophisticated technology ever invented, this human body, the temple of God, the most sophisticated technology, but we are still uncovering what this human body can do. Have you been to the Sultan of Brunei's house? Can you imagine the sophistication of that wealthy being of his empire? How much more the sophistication of the temple of God? Moving on. I need to move quickly, sorry. So in this realm, we move through space and we experience time in the realm of the seen. As we move through space, we experience time. So I can be in Nigeria, I board a plane, and with pinpoint precision, I will know exactly when the plane will land in Heathrow Airport in the UK. And that's because there is one of the laws of Newton's laws, right? You know, where we understand that, you know, you can move through space, and as you move through space, we experience time. Once we know the distance between the two spaces, moving at a certain speed, we can tell the time you will get there. It's a law of the seen realm. However, the realm of the unseen is different, guys. There is no space in that realm. Hear what I am saying, guys. In the realm of the unseen, there is no space. And if there is no space, there is no time. And that's why God resides outside of time. So yesterday, tomorrow, today are all in the now. So if there is no space between you and me, it then must suggest that we're all connected in the realm of the unseen. Do you understand? If there is no space, if there is no space in the realm of the unseen, then that means that myself and my desire are connected. Do you understand what I'm saying? The realm of the unseen is connected. How is it that a mother is in Nigeria and then her daughter falls ill, and in precise timing, she knows that something has happened to her daughter? The realm of the unseen is connected. It's connected. It's connected. It's connected. It's connected. It's connected. There is connection in that realm. There's connection in that realm. And all your dreams, hopes, and aspirations, they reside in that realm. You just need to know how to connect with it, to pull it from that intangible realm to this realm. And the way you connect with it is by consciously placing your attention on the things that are not seen. As I begin to wrap up, question now is, Bankole, there are more things which I would have shared because of time. I can't, that distinguish the realm of the unseen from the realm of the seen. Because of time, I won't go into all of that. But the big question is, so how do I connect with the unseen so that I can operate on this limitless plane? Is anybody curious? Anybody wants to know, right? Anybody wants to know? Let me know in the comments, right? Anybody wants to know how do I operate from the unseen? Do I want to be subject to classical laws, or do I want to be subject to the laws of the unseen, or the quantum laws? Or, it's like the law of gravity and the law of lift. Those two laws exist. Gravity says what goes up must come down, but planes go up, they don't come down like that too. So the planes operate a higher law that supersedes the law of gravity. They operate the law of lift. And I'm saying that there are higher laws that you can operate that would ensure that you are limitless, right? I see a number of you saying, yes, I want to know. Yes, I want to know, right? You must learn how to speak the language of the unseen, which is the language of consciousness. Consciousness, the language of consciousness. The language of consciousness. The question is, how do I speak this language of consciousness? We must understand that the language of the seen is our 5 physical senses. So I must have a strategy for disconnecting from my 5 physical senses to elevate, to speak the language of the unseen. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I must know how to shut down my 5 physical senses, or as many of them, so that I can then be consciousness or be an awareness and know how to place my awareness on things that I want to see in my life, because they conflict. You cannot be moved by the things that are seen and be operating by faith. Do you understand? So we must shut down being moved by senses so that we can operate the law of consciousness. Do we understand? If you understand, in the comments, say, yes, I am flowing. I want to be sure you get this. So let me give a very practical example so you understand this. You know, I have a friend, some of you know him, Kobams Asukwa, right? Kobams, you know Kobams blind, Kobams, right? Now, back then, you know, you will walk into the room and shake Kobam's hand and he will call your name. And will freak out like, dude, how did you know? Right. In fact, I almost feel like there was even an instance that somebody walked in and he felt the person's presence and knew who he was. So the question now is, how come his other senses are heightened? Listen to me. When you shut down a sense, the other senses become heightened. So when the sense of sight is shut down, the sense of touch is heightened. Do you understand what I'm saying? So as we begin to shut down some of our senses, we heighten the other ones. So one day I was eating this red, sumptuous looking jollof rice. My goodness, you know that smoky jollof, the one that smells like firewood. Oh my goodness. I was relishing this thing. I was eating it. As I was eating it, I caught myself. As I was eating, it was so delicious. You know, my palate, it was slapping my palate, you know, giving it, you know, the right, you know, savory sensations. And as I was eating this rice, I caught myself closing my eyes. And I wondered, hold on, why is it that when you are eating a delicacy, you close your eyes to fully relish the moment of the taste? Does that happen to you in the comments? Please let me know. When something is delicious, you just close your eyes. No, do you guys do that? Right. Okay, so I'm not alone. You want to know why you do that? Because the minute you shut your eyes, you heighten the sensation of your taste buds. As you are shutting down a sense, another sense is becoming heightened. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right? So flow with me. So I've explained a particular principle here. So flow with me. So if you shut down one, the other 4 becomes heightened. What happens if we shut down all 5? Can you imagine what happens to your 6th sense? Ooh. Are you guessing this thing, guys? If you close your eyes, if you plug your ears, if you are not moving around, you're not touching, you're seated in one spot. If you are not being distracted by smell, you know, you are not eating or tasting anything, and you are still, can you imagine the experiential knowledge you would have? Guys, this is a principle that I have practiced and has transformed not my life alone, but the lives of many. It says, be still and know. The word for knowledge is epignosis. It's an experiential knowledge. There is an experiential knowledge you can have when you are not moved by sensory perception. And I'm saying to you, right, Imagine if you did this every day. First thing when you wake up, because guess what? First thing when you wake up, you have the brain of a child. And the brain of a child is very suggestible. The brain of children are limitless. A child will hop on a broom and believe that they can fly. There's nothing you can tell that child. They are convinced. Limitless. First thing when you wake up, you have the brain of a child. You have a malleable brain that's very suggestible, but guess what? We use the most limitless moments of our lives to do the most limiting things. We pick up our mobile devices and we're going on Instagram, on WhatsApp, what are you talking about? Imagine if first thing when you wake up, before the analytical faculties kick in, don't you understand? The problem is what is limiting you is analysis, over analysis. That thing that's telling you that I know, yeah, you as you are like this, you can achieve this thing. That analytical faculty that's telling you that nobody in your family has ever achieved this, and you want to do, that thing is what is getting in your way. But that thing takes time to wake up. So the best time is when it is asleep. And it is asleep first thing when you wake up. Science has proven this. First 20 minutes brain time. What if that period was dedicated to mental rehearsal? What if that period was dedicated to stillness? What if that period was dedicated to shutting your eyes and taking care of your internal world and creating in the unseen? Because that is how you connect to the unseen. It is by going in, because the kingdom is in. And as you begin to shut your eyes and visualize and create and get lost in your creation, what you do not realize is that you are connecting to the unseen. And as you are connecting to the unseen and you're placing your consciousness and attention on those things, you are causing things in the world to begin to configure, to create form. Our thoughts are frequency. Frequency carries information. Information causes things to go into formation, and formation creates form. It's a law. It's a law. As you connect in the realm of the unseen, you are not just matter, you are wave. You connect to an electromagnetic spectrum that's giving signals, and frequency always carries information. The question is, what are you vibrating as? Are you vibrating as someone who is disgruntled, unhappy, complaining, or are you vibrating as someone who is elevated in their consciousness? Before I came here, watching a video on gratitude, are you being grateful for that which you desire already is? Are you showing up as one who's grateful for, even though you don't have it in your hands, you recognize it's present in the unseen, and you close your eyes and bask in the presence of that thing, and you see it, calling those things that be not as though they were, not as though they are or will be, but as though they are, and you bask in mental rehearsal of what is in the process of becoming in your life. And as you do so, I am telling you, you are sending information that's causing things to get information, to get in formation. And as they get information, all that would create form, and that is manifestation. And I'm telling you, as you apply these principles, right, you would operate a limitless life. The final thing I'm going to share is a study that was done. A lot of things that I share are very scientific. A study that was done, right, on basketball players who were doing free throws, right? So they were doing free throws. So they broke them into 3 categories. The first category of people, they told them to rehearse on the courts the free throws, the penalties. Every day, they did it every single day for about a week, right? The second category of people, they told them to not go on the court to rehearse. They told them to close their eyes and mentally rehearse, mentally see themselves bouncing the ball and throwing the ball and the ball entering into the basket. right? That's all they were doing with their imagination, mental rehearsal. The third category of people, they told them to do nothing, right? They didn't do anything for the period of a week, right? After that period of rehearsal, they brought the three categories of people to the physical grounds, to the court, and they started throwing in the balls into the net. And they noticed certain things about the three categories. The first category of people, they noticed that they improved by 24% because they were rehearsing on the courts. The second category of people that did not physically rehearse but rehearsed in their mind, they improved by 23%. The third category of people did not improve at all, and they found out that the brain does not know the difference between mental rehearsal and what you do in real time. If you do it in your imagination, it takes it as real. And the realm of the unseen, we connect with our consciousness when we disconnect our senses from this plane. And as you commit to this practice on a daily basis, I want to guarantee you that 2023 will be your year of limitlessness. Thank you very much.
Whoa, 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 Bankole Williams. Thank you so much. Thank you. If you have one question that you want to ask him, please, you can send it to my inbox. You can send it to me privately. But Bankole, thank you very much. I mean, you've literally shared, what everybody needs to know. When you talked about the first few hours of the day, where where the brain is like that of a child. I'm amazed that that's the period in Africa where people abdicate their responsibility to someone else to determine and control and lead them on what to do. It's almost like they are being stripped of their power and they are not aware. And people plug in day, day out, that they are no longer in touch with themselves, but they are in tune with someone else, and they begin to promote the person and they recruit other people to join. And I'm looking and I'm wondering, what's going on?
True.
This is the most powerful moment of your life, but you are not taking responsibility. You have a powerful car, but you have given it to someone to drive for you, and you've never utilized it. So thank you so much. I know that some people might have a question to say, how do I begin to meditate? Right? It's amazing that Christians, the entire concept of Christianity is built on repent. And repent is change your thinking, which is meditation. For all my years of service attending, I've never seen any service where we have a meditation moment. It's amazing. Right? Because meditation is becoming familiar with. So if people are not familiar with themselves, how can they produce results? Now, so can you just, in maybe 1 or 2 minutes, what's the simplest way that people can start to meditate, especially for those who are listening and they say, oh, I can't calm my mind for 1 minute. I see people say that to me. I can't say my mind, and I said that you can't calm your mind. It's already a feedback that there is hell within you, right? And you need to do something. So what can they do almost immediately for those who say, I want to start meditating from tomorrow morning?
Oh, beautiful question, right? So remember that the practice is to shut down from this physical terrain. So close your eyes, plug your ears, find nice, soft, slow music, right? I have meditation guides I created, listen, right? Sit on a spot, preferably don't lie down on a bed. Sit in a comfortable position. When you lie down, your bed knows that posture is for sleep. So sit on a comfortable chair. Make sure you're not moving, right? You're not eating anything. You're not being distracted. I have eye patches, for instance. Light signals the pineal gland in the brain to release serotonin that causes you to wake up. So you don't want light to enter, right? So you turn off your lights, cover your eyes and you sit. And the first practice that I encourage people to do is to sit and be still. Now, I'm going to just share a few things that are going to help people. Number one, please write this down. There is nothing like a bad meditation. It's just you overcoming you. Write this down, and it will help, because what I find is that a lot of people have placed a label on the experience. And once you place that label on the experience, it defines not just that experience, but subsequent ones. So hear what I'm saying. There's nothing like a bad meditation. It's just you overcoming you. So you are seeing yourself, a side of yourself you need to overcome. So as you shut your eyes, your mind is going to go in random directions. You've been doing that all your years. So I don't expect that in the first time you're going to have absolute control. But guess what? When your mind wanders, catch it. When you catch it, do not judge it, which is a mistake people make. They judge. Do not judge the experience, because guess what? Like Praise said, meditation is becoming familiar. When you catch yourself wandering, you just became familiar with the fact that you wandered. So you just won. It's actually a victory that you cost yourself. So the minute you catch yourself wandering, recognize it's a win and bring yourself back to the moment. Your mind wanders again, catch yourself, bring yourself back to the moment. Do it regularly, right? Do it for 5 minutes, build up to 10 minutes. Before you know it, I do an average of about 1 hour every day, right? And before you know it, you can just remain in that place of stillness. And I'm telling you, it's such a powerful, powerful position. As you remain still when your eyes are closed, you can come out to this world. And even when there is chaos all around you, you can find stillness within you, right? So that's my advice to
Thank you very much, Bankole. I'm sure you'll be back. You know, this is the best gift I always say to people to gift themselves, you know, for the new year. Go and get the gift of a headset. I mean, my daughter asked for one, and I got to get for her, because there is once I strap this, I go to the gym twice a day and I meditate twice a day. Morning, first in the morning, then in the evening. And trust me, what your eyes can see is very limiting, but there is a lot of limitlessness that is around us that, I mean, I can talk a lot, but I'm very, very quiet within me. People know. And there is a lot available, a lot of power, a lot of strength. If we understand the kingdom within, like Bankole said, I mean, when I was in Nigeria, the people in my office knows that if you are whispering a bit of far away from me, you are very loud to me in my office. You know, so sometimes they are gisting about something very far away, and I call them and I say, this is what you are talking about. And they're like, how did you hear this? And I'm laughing at them. I say, you guys don't understand what is in the frequency. And like you rightly said, you are sending a signal, and for every signal there are subscribers. So if you send a signal of lack, a signal of worry to the atmosphere, subscribers that will bring it to your reality, they will show up on your radar. So please don't entertain guilt, don't entertain shame, don't entertain regret. Live in gratitude. That's the highest form of vibration. Thank you very much, Bankole. It's nice having you. We hope when we call you, you'll be back again. In fact, we want you to come once a month, if it's possible. But don't worry, I'll talk to you about it. House of Saviors, please, can you appreciate Bankole? Please, okay, so they are all saying, please come back, please come back, please come back. Because this knowledge of the human mind is what the religious space has, they've eaten from people. People have not been able to use their frontal cortex. You know, they're almost, you know, using the reptilian brain all the time, because frontal cortex shuts down. So we need to take it till they master it and become liberated. Thank you very much, Bankole. God bless you. I'm going to hand over